Good morning and welcome to G'day Bitcoin. Welcome to Epoch 5, the fourth Bitcoin halving. It was absolutely historic. BlackRock hit 69 days of inflows on 4/20. Adam Back calls for 800k Bitcoin this cycle. Hong Kong, they're ready to launch their Bitcoin ETFs. The IMF released another paper about Bitcoin trying to track cross-border flows of capital as they look for a flight to safety. This is the Bitcoin news with the fast facts. What a historic weekend. Friday for everyone in the States. It did hit 420 for the halving here in Australia. Never in human history has a good thing that people use as money been this scarce. Happy Bitcoin halving, peeps. Welcome to Epoch 5. That's by Caitlin Long there. Adam Back now calling for an $800,000 Bitcoin this cycle. Adam Back, some people believe Adam Back is Satoshi. Doing a lot of work on Lightning. Adam is one of the oldest OGs in the space. He was here before Bitcoin was released. The geometric mean of these new cycle ranges, if we track prior cycles, is about $800,000, which is probably enough to flip gold, as they will also pull down gold ETFs as investors are asked what they want to sell to do their Bitcoin ETF flows. Is that hopium? Is that bullish? Is this bearish? So eCoin metrics, price range for the Bitcoin halving in the fourth halving cycle. So the upper bound is $4.5 million. They're talking about it could hit this cycle. The lower bound is 140,000. Let's bring this up and go into it. That is if Bitcoin ends up following a growth trajectory in the range of the previous cycles. Here's their pretty little chart. Let's see if I can bring it up nicely. No, it's actually nicer like that. So Bitcoin's growth trajectory after the fourth halving. What if Bitcoin growth after the fourth halving follows the same pattern as the previous cycles? Well, assuming the same growth rate as the past three cycles, we would expect one Bitcoin to be worth anywhere between 140,000, 4.5 million per coin, starting from $63,000. That is quite a range, but it's not like Bitcoin has ever been shy of surprises. TikTok, next block, we are in Epoch 5. This time fundamentally is different. 800,000, 140,000, 4.5 million. Who knows? Buy, stack, and chill. We've got so much to get into today. And shout out to everyone that is watching live, watching the replay. You are legends. You are winning. This is the greatest wealth transfer in human history, and you're here for it. If you've just come into Bitcoin straight after the halving, welcome. Do whatever you can to get as much Bitcoin as you possibly can. This thing is going up and to the right forever. We'll dive into the numbers for that. Eric Bellahanis, Bloomberg analyst, waking up in 420 to see IBIT talking cash, the 69th straight day. How does it get any better, and what else is possible? That's absolutely crazy. It happened. It actually happened. 69th straight day of inflows on 420 by one of the most interesting organizations in the world. Are they good? Are they bad? I don't know, but they are buying a lot of Bitcoin. And if you're not buying Bitcoin, BlackRock is buying Bitcoin. 69 straight days of inflows. We're going to dive into what the IMF had to say, but a couple of historic things that happened on the halving. The halving block had 37.6 Bitcoin worth of fees. Absolutely historic. People playing around. A lot of it's to do with runes. It's more S-coins, altcoins on Bitcoin. But it definitely destroys the argument that Bitcoin will no longer be profitable for the miners when they're getting 37.6 Bitcoin in a block. Even now, it's still quite high, and the ones following were absolutely massive, including the reward, 40 Bitcoin for block 840,000. Now, we did go live on the halving. I'll get through the IMF paper real quick, and then the video that came up on the halving, that crash time chain calendar. And shout out to everyone that is watching live. You can smash the like, do something, do anything. The IMF, they released a paper on Bitcoin cross-border flows. The paper is here. It is a working paper. I did retweet that last night at Sean Clark 911. It's the 30-minute read. The TLDR is Bitcoin is winning. The researchers struggle to measure cross-border flows effectively, but they've done their best guess. Good on them. What I took away was in countries with decent financial markets, very little cross-border inflows happen. However, when the country has poor financial markets and infrastructure, the flows are substantially bigger. Bitcoin, it is working as intended. It's permissionless, pseudonymous, and unstoppable. For the IMF to allude to that is pretty incredible. The researchers are calling for greater regulation. Of course they are, but they are saying the world is merging more and more with Bitcoin, and that's making their job hard. BlackRock, they're pretty much firing off at BlackRock there, where TradFi and Bitcoin decentralized finance come together. Bitcoin is being used as a flight to safety in many countries. However, it is still treated as a risk asset, and that's the full paper there. I put that tweet out last night. Definitely check it out. Half an hour. Who would have thought a couple of years ago, I'm sure this is for most people, 99% of people that are watching live, that we'd bother to read anything from the IMF. Everything felt so futile, so nihilistic. And then we find Bitcoin, it is hope, it is freedom, it's permissionless, transparent, verifiable, hard money. The world's hardest money, the hardest money that's ever existed in human history. And you are here right now for something that's so historic. And we're only in the 5th epoch. There's 64 halvings, and we've had 4. If my math is correct. Luke Mikic, brother of mine, what an absolute legend this guy is. If you're not already following, follow Luke Mikic. But welcome to Bitcoin's 5th epoch, and enjoy this dope video visualizing the following. This video was off Time Chain. We did play it over the weekend. This crashed Time Chain. And we are so ready. We are ready to watch the halving, and we ticked over and timechain.com crash. So we eventually got there. We found out how to replay it, but it was a pretty epic video. Let's get it. Every time I watch this video, this feeling that I get in my heart, like, this is insane. We're literally here for Epoch 5. Like, let's go, baby. This is human history in the making. Bitcoin's only 15 years old. It's the world hardest money. The inflation rate is lower than gold. There's never been an opportunity like this. I finished a whole book on the weekend, and it's made me just even more bullish on the whole Bitcoin economy, ecosystem, the flight to freedom. It's not even a flight to safety, it's a flight back to freedom. Before we get into that, I would like to bring up today's sponsor, the Bitcoin Way. The reason I've paired with these guys is they've got 25 years of cybersecurity experience. Tony and the team are absolutely amazing. They are the professional Bitcoin IT team within the space, helping you master your Bitcoin self-custody. Safe Dina Moose also recommends them, along with Simply Bitcoin, Natalie Brunel, and many others, because these guys have integrity and they can really take you from zero to hero. Or if you've been in Bitcoin for a while, been in Bitcoin for 5 years, and when they took me through the process, it's like, whoa, I thought I had my security locked down, had it pretty good. These guys really helped me out in so many ways. Help you run a node, air gap your wallets, and lock your computer down. Make sure there's no viruses. Your Wi-Fi is not leaking any data. Your wallets aren't leaking any data. They've made it super easy to be able to find out what you need to do to be able to protect yourself. And this is generational wealth. If you're new here, whatever you've got now is exponentially going to go up. Adam Back's talking about a $800,000 Bitcoin, upper bound 4.5 million. Does that happen this cycle? Bet Samson Mel from Jan 3 believes it happens this cycle. Whatever it is, over time, your wealth's going to exponentially increase. Make sure you lock it down. Be a sovereign individual. Do not leave your Bitcoin on the exchange. That's number one. Do not plug your hardware wallet into the computer. That's number two. Number three is run a node. If you need any help, made it super easy. The first 30 minutes is free. There is a link below. Now, over the weekend, I read a whole book, parallel, start to finish. I downloaded it on Saturday night on 420. I read it last night, so 24 hours. The prelude to Parallel was Bitcoin Evangelism by Brian D. Mint. We had Brian on the show on Friday here, Australian time. What an absolute guy. Bitcoin Evangelism is a fantastic book, and reading this book will help you find the 12 seed words in Parallel. There's 1 million Satoshis up for grabs. A little bit of fun. I did not find them, and I wasn't really looking really hard. What I was looking for was this saying here, read the books or eat the bugs. It's something that I'm absolutely blessed and honored to be able to make it into Parallel. But Parallel is talking about the Bitcoin Parallel system. Wow. Dives like Daniel Batten's in there, Knut Van Home. They dive into education, medicine, fiat food, and then how Bitcoin is changing the world in so many ways and how you can be a part of that, businesses. And changing, making a parallel community or a circular economy. It's one of the best books. It had me absolutely captivated. I've read a lot of Bitcoin books. I will put a link at the top of the description. Brian has sponsored to bring this up, and I would have done it for free. It's an incredible book. And in saying that, over the next couple of weeks, we'll be giving away tens of thousands of Satoshis. We have a 1-year subscription for the Orange Pill app, so do make sure you are subscribed for that and actually read the books or eat the bugs. So this is a fantastic book for anyone that has been in Bitcoin for a little bit or for a long time. Should be like read Bitcoin Evangelism, Beers for Bitcoin, and then Parallel. Like it's a good number two or even a number one, but it's a good number two Bitcoin book. Now, where are we? Block height 840,247. Let's just make sure this is updated. We are where we are. Wow. 247 blocks past the halving. Everything changed. The price is pretty similar. We'll dive into that. But check this out. 209,753 blocks to go until the next Bitcoin halving. That looks like it's going to happen, estimated April 17th. 2028. I wonder if we get 420 again. Imagine if that happened. Wouldn't it be pretty epic? It'd be hilarious. We do see the exchange rate 64,832. I don't like that one as much, this price. It's never that accurate. But what is good here is for every $1 you get 1,542 Satoshis. For every $10, 1,500, 400 and what? Wow. 15,420, and then for $100, if you just put $100 in, you get 154,200 Satoshis for every $100. It's a pretty good deal. Buy, stack, and chill. This is generational wealth. Every dollar is a vote away from slavery towards freedom. This is real interesting here. Couple of things. Epoch 5. Subsidy 3.125. It just works. I guess there's always a little bit of anxiety coming into the halving. Is it going to halve? Is the code going to work? And it's just TikTok. Next block, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin, it just works. It is the best form of money. It's just math. It's rules without rulers. But the supply, 19.69 million. The number of the universe, 369. Nikola Tesla. But 19.6 million out of 21 million coins are out there. It's going to take like another 120 years to get to the 21 million. And we're already 93.75% of the way there in the first 15 years. 6.25% to come out over 100 plus years. Remarkable. Incredible. It's Bitcoin's a joy. Now, we do see the last block reward has come down a bit, 4.8967. That's the subsidy plus fees. The fees still pretty high, to be honest. 36.18%, 1.7717. Does that count as 777? Is that lucky? Is it not? I always find numbers pretty fascinating. 5:52 local time here in beautiful sunny Queensland. Hopefully everyone is having a great day. A shout out to everyone in the chat. 69 people in the chat. If you haven't already, hit the like button. But the biggest thing you can do, so many people are still asleep, they're not understanding what Bitcoin is share this video. If you could do me a huge favor and text this video to a friend and say, hey, you actually need to understand Bitcoin right now, because 100% guaranteed any fiat, which is the currency that you hold, these dirty cuckbucks, they're worth absolutely nothing. They're all going to zero against Bitcoin. And if you don't understand that, people need to read the book. So if you could do us a huge favor, send it to a friend. I'd be incredibly grateful, because they've got an opportunity. Bitcoin's only at $64,750. The market cap's at only 1.27 trillion. To overtake gold will be, 10x higher, 640,000. Adam Back's saying we could reach $800,000 this cycle. The cycle's 4 years, up to 2028, maybe 420, 2028. We are down 12.3% from the all-time high. If people are just coming in for number go up technology, they should look at that and be like, cool, pretty easy to make 12.2%, because Bitcoin is going up and to the right. It's going to snap back to the sooner rather than later. On what time frame? I don't know. I don't think it'll be too long. Usually 6 to 12 months it takes for Bitcoin to start moving. This cycle is fundamentally different. We'll see what happens when Wall Street wakes up this week, what the inflows are doing. Grayscale looks like they are cutting down. But a 10x to get gold, 12% increase to all-time highs. If they're just coming in here for number go up, good. Easy fiat gains if you want to. But hopefully by that time as you get them, and give your friends the book, please, because this is your fight for freedom, and it is hope in a world of CBDCs. If you have a look at the chart, this is max logged out. Bitcoin just goes up and to the right. Even if you were to buy here at the all-time highs, drops down and you just dollar cost average all the way in here, and then you're back at profit about these levels here. I think 32,000 it was if you started DC. If you bought at the top and you DCA'd all the way down, when we hit 32 roughly 1,000, you're back in profit because you're smoothing it out. And look where we are back now. It's pretty incredible. That's how Bitcoin works. It's fair, it's equitable, it's the greatest story that's ever told, and we're all here for it. Now, Matt Hogan, we've had him on, the CIO of Bitwise, and it's only 42 seconds, but I thought this was pretty cool. Is the Bitcoin halving priced in?
Is this a buy the rumor, sell the news situation, or is there something else to think about?
Andrew, good to see you. Glad to be on. I think this is a buy the news event if you pan out long term. If you look historically at halvings, the price action around the halving, if you look out a week or 2 weeks, is relatively muted. But if you look out a year, the Bitcoin price has rallied substantially after each of the past 3 halvings, and I think it will do so again. I think you can overthink this. The amount of new supply of Bitcoin coming into the market is being cut in half. We're removing $11 billion of annual supply. I think big picture, that has to be good for price, and that's what I would expect over the next year.
Moving $11 billion of annual supply off the market. TikTok next block. It's only a matter of time before Bitcoin starts mooning. Now, BlackRock 69 days of inflows on 420 halving day. Bitcoin memes keep flowing as one of the year's biggest success stories. Adds to the sense of fate around the 2024 halving. Is remarkable and historic in so many ways. And for you being here now, it's probably you're going to look back and being like, this was the moment where everything changed, everything got better, continues to get better from this moment going forward. Bitcoin price action may be firmly sideways this halving. Thankfully, there's been cheap sats and there's still cheap sats. Those cheap sats are not going to last for very long. We do see McLovin will be seeing 10 sats per dollar in the near future. I 100% agree. When? Slowly, then suddenly. as Bitcoin price goes up, the amount of Satoshis you can get for every dollar goes down exponentially. Not only did the seminal event hit on April 20th, 420, a keen meme date in itself, but the largest United States spot Bitcoin ETF sealed 69 days of straight inflows. Did it actually happen on 420 in the US? It was 420 here in Australia. I guess the time zones could have lined up, or was it late at night on the 19th and then 420 for parts of the country? If somebody can let us know in the chat, would be great. It's a little too perfect, Bellaharness summarize, because Bitcoin just works. Bitcoin is perfect. Now, Grayscale, I think they're starting to get sick of having all these outflows, and you can't blame them. They've lost, what, like $16 billion or something over the last couple of months worth of holdings. Grayscale slashed its fee on their mini Bitcoin ETFs to just 15 basis points, the cheapest Bitcoin ETF in the market. Buy outflows. Not so sure. It's not their main fund, their mini Bitcoin ETFs. I need to look into that a little bit more. Maybe it's a gimmick. Maybe they are ready to stop. Why haven't they done it with their main fund? Wealth management firms to boost the Bitcoin ETFs, Bitwise CEO. So we just played Matt Hogan, who's the CIO. Hunter Horsley's the CEO of Bitwise. They are looking to launch an Ethereum ETF, which is a little bit of a shame. Obviously, they're in the business of making money. They are Wall Street, so, you know, greed comes into the picture a little bit. But that aside, they are doing the right thing by Bitcoiners as far as Wall Street goes. I had Matt on, and he seemed like a really good guy. And I can't say what they're going to do in the future, but the vibe I got off him is they're doing their very best. They are donating to the developers of Bitcoin. Now, I asked him, 100% no strings attached. That's what he said. Look me in the eye. We'll see what happens. It's been contentious over the last couple of weeks. Anyway, forecast mirrors the growing demand for ETFs as evidenced by recent positive inflows in the US Bitcoin ETF market. Hunter Horsley, CEO, has predicted that wealth management firms will increase their Bitcoin ETF in terms of holdings. The prediction came at a time when Bitcoin ETFs are expected to gain even more traction after the halving. Horsley's prediction aligns with the broader market belief that there is increasing demand for ETFs, given that Bitcoin investments in the US exchange-traded funds market recorded a net positive inflow right before the Bitcoin halving, following 5 days consecutive of drain. So I am truly interested to see what happens when Wall Street wakes back up. Do we get inflows, outflows? What are your predictions there in the chat? Now, BlackRock iShares Bitcoin Trust is closing the gap with Grayscale, standing just $2 billion shy. Incredible. What did Grayscale have? Like, this says 36 billion. I thought it was 28. Obviously, the price is up a whole lot more. But this position, when they first started, this positions that makes more sense. BlackRock to potentially surpass Grayscale as the world's largest Bitcoin fund. Only a matter of time. If they start going back, if Wall Street starts going back to $500 million in inflows, and BlackRock's making up most of that, probably not the end of this month, but by the end of May, they could easily be the number one there on Wall Street. So Grayscale experienced 68-day period of value decline, and 69 was their lucky day having inflows, shedding nearly 16 billion and reducing its assets to 19.4 billion. We'll see. I'd like to know what your prediction is. Hong Kong investment firm Victory Securities. When I first saw that, I read Victoria's Secrets. Don't ask me why my mind went there, and I had to read it a couple of times, I'm sure, because I'm sure an investment firm was not called Victoria's Secrets. It's Victory Securities reveals Bitcoin and ETF and Ether ETF fees. Despite the Hong Kong SFC not yet publishing an approved list of issuers, well, let's just call them Victoria's Secrets, has disclosed its fees for Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. It's stuck in my head now. Hong Kong-based investment firm Victory Securities, it really looks like Victoria's Secrets, my apologies, has reportedly disclosed its proposed fees to investors for Bitcoin. the ETF following the recent approval of cryptocurrency ETF products within the region. Yeah, redacted Ethereum because it is a load of noise. Anyway, if approved by the SFC, Victory Securities customers will face proposed fees for Bitcoin ETF shares in the primary market set at 0.5 to 1% of the total transaction, with a minimum fee $850 according to an extract of translated reports shared by Wu Blockchain on April 20th, 420. For investors interested in buying and selling existing ETF shares on the secondary market, the fees will be 15 basis points for online transactions and 25 basis points for telephone transactions, very much in line with Wall Street. Their nation state game theory, it's here. They can't stay away from Bitcoin. It's pretty crazy. Hong Kong, a spot in kind ETF. I believe this is the first in kind ETF in the world. Can somebody fact check me in the comments on that? So you can send them Bitcoin and you can get an ETF back, or you can withdraw and get the ETF, get the actual Bitcoin. That's pretty remarkable, and that's pretty surprising coming from Hong Kong, which many people see as a proxy for China. What do they call it? Like one country, two rules or something, even though it's two country, two rules? Doesn't make much sense. Now, Peter Schiff trolling as always, but just remember last halving he was doing exactly the same thing, saying pretty much the same thing in a different way. Bitcoin was $9,000. Please don't get caught up with the noise. Bitcoin's super easy. You just buy, you stack, you chill. Your life exponentially gets better. And then while that's happening, read the books, go out, get some sun, surf, sand, eat some steak, and do anything that starts with S. If you can figure that out, I'll leave that one with you. Now, Warsaw, Palace of Culture and Science, the Bitcoin symbol was projected up on the building. I thought this was pretty neat and that you would like to see. Happened through the halving. It's Bitcoiners, we're a real interesting bunch of people. There's no incentive for anyone to do this, to spend that money to be able to send the signal out there. But Bitcoiners have just realized that it is hope, it's freedom, it's number go up, it protects you against tyranny, the stupidity, the wokeism that is going on in popular culture. It gives you that escape hatch, and Bitcoiners want to share that with the world. And it makes sense because the allies get better. But what's the point if you've got a good life and there's no friends or family around with you? We want other people to be there as we build out our citadels. Now, Fred Krueger, so what's causing all these fees? Basically, 4 complete meme coins that are hours old on Bitcoin. This was over the weekend. Satoshi Nakamoto, meme economics. The ticker is ELSA, uncommon goods. Between these, 70,000 Bitcoin transactions at $300 each equals $21 million in fees in 3 hours. Well, the security budget, it's there. We'll give them credit. We'll watch that. Daniel Budden's got a couple of things to say in regards to it as well. I thought this was a nice ad put out by Coinbase. They've actually been doing pretty good with their Bitcoin ads lately. It's a shame they need to play around and allow people to go broke with altcoins, because 95% of people that play around with altcoins will lose all their money, lose all their Bitcoin. It's better just to buy, stack and chill, really, unless you know what you're doing. I'd still urge you to stay away. It's mind virus, but you do you. It's your money. It's your choice. That aside, Coinbase done a pretty remarkable job with this ad. thought that was pretty good. I'll make sure I do repost it at Sean Clark 911. If you'd like to read all those little words, it's well worth watching. That is the second time I've seen it. It's pretty good. Now, Daniel Batten. Runes and ordinals, the counterintuitive truth. Bitcoin mining superficially looks bad for the environment. It isn't. Similarly, ordinals and runes look frivolous, but aren't. The evidence, we are talking to wholesale investors into our funds. Most have asked about the long-term viability of Bitcoin mining as the block reward gets progressively less. Answering, oh, don't worry about that, because Bitcoin will be worth so much that even 0.195 Bitcoin block reward is worth it, is a bad answer. Pointing to the current data on fees already providing a viable income source to miners irrespective of Bitcoin price is a good answer. For the future of Bitcoin mining, the early emergence of an economically viable fees market is important. In other words, the existence of runes and ordinals has made it easier for us to convince skeptics of the future of Bitcoin mining and therefore the future of Bitcoin. Interesting way to approach and look at the situation. Bill, what are runes? Why are they so interesting and why are they causing a huge spike in Bitcoin transaction fees? Runes, a new proposed token standard on Bitcoin that makes it easier and more efficient to users to create fungible tokens on the blockchain. ERC20 tokens on Ethereum are the most common fungible tokens today. Runes is designed specifically for the launch of fungible tokens on Bitcoin. Unlike ordinals, which allows for the creation of NFTs, runes use edicts, small lightweight transactions that can be used to transfer ownership of tokens without clogging up the Bitcoin network. Runes use Bitcoin's UTXO model and the op-return opcode to simplify the creation management of fungible tokens. Each rune transaction can specify multiple operations across different runes. In the event of a token transfer, the runes protocol will split the UTXO into multiple new UTXOs based on the instructions in the op-return data. Why runes? It's good to understand what's going on. What are the benefits? Runes aim to simplify fungible token creation on the Bitcoin blockchain, minimizing on-chain footprint and improving UTXO management. It offers users a simpler way of creating fungible tokens on the Bitcoin network relative to other alternatives like BRC, 20 RGB, and Taproot. With runes, users can create multiple tokens and manage them easily on-chain without needing to rely on off-chain data or native tokens or generating a significant amount of junk UTXOs. Runes launched on Bitcoin block 840,000 at the Bitcoin halving on April 20th. Why are Bitcoin transactions suddenly so expensive? We'll keep you up to date with runes. This is what's happening in Australia. Pauline Hanson, this is outrageous. This lady sounds pretty angry all the time, politician, and I think that goes to say enough. Left, right, in the middle, they're all politicians. They're all lying. You can opt out. You can choose freedom. But pretty good point here. Malcolm Roberts, the Safety Commissioner, charged Australian taxpayers $40,000 to travel to the World Economic Forum planning session in Davos to discuss censoring Australian free speech. This is outrageous. Yeah, it actually is. It's not surprising. I'm sure that happens everywhere. Taxpayer, like when you think about it, and that's what's so evil about the fiat system. The money that we pay in tax, we don't choose where that goes. They choose where it goes, and they felt like they would travel, spend $40,000 to go to the World Economic Forum to discuss and learn how they can censor, control, manipulate us more and more. Easy solution. Opt out, buy Bitcoin, buy, stack, and chill. It's happening everywhere. Looks like the states have banned TikTok if China doesn't sell into them, like forcing their hand, like absolutely insane that they can do that. TikTok is another mind virus, but still, if people want to choose it, I think that comes down more to the education, especially with young kids with their family, to tell their kids not to be spending time on there, but they can't just they can shut down a whole organization. And the e-safety commissioner's bill that's coming out here in Australia, just to censor anything they don't like, basically. Wall Street Silver, can somebody tell me what the hell is going on? What is happening with the economy? We've got business shutting down. We have a crazy housing crisis here in Australia, and they've just let in 105,000 immigrants in a month. I think we're only meant to let in 160,000 in a year. Immigration, like it's one world, but if there is a housing crisis, I believe the general local population, the citizens of that country should be taken care of first, not putting more pressure on them. Is this all by design to make living more unaffordable, to be able to have house prices keep going up because all these pricks in office hold all their wealth and property? I don't know. Putting two and two together makes four. Anyway, can someone tell me where the F these people are living? What do they do for jobs? They've got over 3,000 building companies go bust here in Australia in the last 12 months. This is a video from this lady. I'll repost it here. She's definitely distraught, distressed. Yes, Bitcoin does fix this personally. And then as we go into the parallel economy, it fixes the world. Now, that's Bitcoin news with the fast facts. If you haven't already and we vibe, hit subscribe. We're going to dive straight into the comments, have a quick little banter. Welcome to history. Wasn't that good? Epoch 5, it's amazing. Adam Back's $800,000 Bitcoin price. Does it happen? I don't know. I actually don't care. The lower it stays, the longer it stays down here, the more time we have to give people the orange pill. And if you're new to the space or whatever time, I reckon stack as hard, and this is my opinion, stack as hard as you can for the next 4 years or for 4 years in total. Like, do everything. And it gets tiring, but it will pay off because it'll set you up for the rest of your life, for your future. And then in that time, if you can share the books, this video, like it, share it, as well as every Bitcoiner out there that's got a podcast, a news show that's putting out high signal tweets. Bitcoin is like, it's not a joke. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's about true wealth, about true freedom. It's not hyperbole. It's an actual fact. CBDCs, digital IDs, we can opt out. And with Bitcoin in that book, Parallel Economy by Brian Deeman, it changed everything for me. And I couldn't put it down anyway. I'm really looking forward to it. I just want more people to understand that they should be on the Bitcoin standard. Everything exponentially gets better. Now, McLovin, g'day Sean, g'day Legends. Do something, do anything, hit the like button. Jake Thomas, g'day from Flyover. Sunday, USA, g'day, makes more sense if I read it correctly. Flyover USA, Sunday, mate. Mike, g'day Sean, hope you're back. Is good. It sure is. It's been really good. It's probably stronger than ever. If anyone doesn't know, I hurt my back really, really bad last year. It took 3 or 4 months of crazy physio. Still do physio every day. Look after your back. Make sure you move right. And physio, yoga, something like that is definitely worth doing, as well as exercise and your stretching. I'd highly recommend it. Book, The Penniless Billionaire tells of fiat days that gone bye-bye. Cool, The Penniless Billionaire. Thanks, Jake. I'll check it out. Now that I've finished a book, I need to get on to the next one. G'day. Young Kings, I got my 100 shares IBIT, just waiting for the stock option to be enabled. Knoxville. McLovin. Fiat is a risk asset, 100%. FJB, Fortune and Fiat. 2, g'day from Colorado Springs, Co-USA. Your consistent messages is going to help a lot of people. Truly appreciate that. I just want people to get it. Like, Bitcoin's absolutely imperative. There's no other option if you want to be a free sovereign individual. If you know any other options, let us know. But you definitely need to have unconfiscatable, hard, sound money that cannot be debased. Adam Back also called for another $27,000 before the halving, but that didn't happen. 100%. And price targets, I don't really bring up my own. I do believe Bitcoin's going to $1 million, and when it goes there, it'll continue to go higher. Time frame, I don't know. Maybe it takes 100 years. I don't think so. But Bitcoin is going up and to the right, and I guess that's the point of bringing them up. It is just math, and we can't really time the demise. We're already seeing the demise of the world currencies, but we are seeing them speed up quicker and quicker. And depending on what country, if you see an $800,000 price target You're like, cool, I want to turn $63,000 into $800,000. Let's go. You jump in and your currency collapses and you're in Bitcoin. Well, you're safe and that price target served its purpose. Where are we at? Oppose the New World Order, 100%. Chris, Tat, Adam back. We got through that one. Rory, shout out to you. Happy health finning, plebs. We'll be seeing 10 sats per dollar in the near future. This week going to be amazing. I look forward to seeing what happens. Darius, good evening, ladies and degens. Anyone on a Bitcoin standard by definition is not a degen. They're a free thinker. Degens are sheep. They buy the narrative. They swallow the noise, the nonsense, the psyop. What's the price of Bitcoin when it's 10 sats per dollar? 420 in UK. Halving, 10 mil Bitcoin. Yeah, but same time around the world. Hey, no problem. Yeah, it happened at block height 840,000. Don't ever sell your Bitcoin. We are extremely early, not in terms of just price, but products wherein you can maintain your generational wealth and have anything material you want. Brilliant again. Appreciate. It was a halving party film festival in Warsaw. It was. Huddle, hey, it's Monday. Tony, shout out. Another fine day to buy 1 million sats and chill. No bug dinner here. It's not our money. Bitcoin is our money, 100%. Hey, family, happy Sunday. Here in the USA, they get put in 5-star hotels on taxpayer dimes. I'm not sure what that's referring to, but I'm sure it's, the immigration is probably what's being referred to there. Absolutely. Get it, Gargoyle. Good to see that you made it this morning. And McLovin, people's home shouldn't be their piggy bank. Terrible idea. 100% it is. And Bitcoin fixes this. The more that people use Bitcoin as a store of value, it takes the pressure off the housing market. So even for people that aren't on a Bitcoin standard, while you're on a Bitcoin standard, you're making life better for everyone else. What is the cycle? What is the date of this cycle? People always saying this cycle, this cycle, this cycle. What does that even refer to? Like every 4 years, there's a Bitcoin halving. It lasts 210,000 blocks. We've just hit the new block, which means at 840,000, which means we've gone into this 4-year cycle. And the way I see it is a cycle is, so this cycle is 3.125 Bitcoin per block. The last one was 6.25. Hopefully that helps. BCD. Send around the halving, which just happened. So now we're in that cycle. Pizza Zombie, a shout out to you. Okay, 4 more years for the cycle. 100%. 209,000 plus blocks to go. So many people before the halving kept referring to this cycle, but what they really meant was the cycle after the halving. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Go get some sun. Go do something nice for someone. Buy, stack, and chill. Have a beautiful day. Be blessed. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.